Hey everyone, welcome to my video course. I'm so proud of each and every single one of you guys for finally making the decision to make your content become next level. So this course is mainly focused on YouTube, but everything I say can be applied for Instagram content creation, TikTok content creation, and any sort of short form or long formatted content. So if you guys do not know me, I'm Thato Rampedi. I am a content creator. I've been doing it full time for the last 3 years. I am actually an engineer by trade. I studied industrial and systems engineering at the University of Pretoria, and I've decided to become a full-time content creator. I've got a huge passion for helping people like you become a sustainable content creator. So this video course is going to take you from the beginning all the way to the end, teaching you every single step that you need to become a content creator like myself, who can confidently say they only rely on money that they make from social media. Today's chapter is all about finding your niche and your channel's focus. I feel like finding your niche is one of the most important things you can do. If you guys don't know what a niche is, it's basically the content that you are choosing to create every single day. A lot of us want to create what we see our favorite content creators doing, and that does not necessarily always fall within our interests. So a niche is basically deciding I'm going to create lifestyle content, which is showcasing your life and showing your day to day. Or you can say, I'm actually going to be creating tech content, which is basically all related to the latest tech products, talking about the latest iPhone, talking about smart tech. Or you can decide to become a beauty content creator, which is basically focused on cosmetics, your eyeshadow, your makeup, showcasing how to basically show beauty within what you do. I believe there are two strategies in content creation when it's time to select your niche. There's the one-layered cake and there's the multi-layered cake. They both work really well. So the one-layered cake is basically deciding on one niche to focus on, and this positions you as an expert in your field. So you're speaking only about tech, or only about beauty, or only about the latest travel destinations. The multi-layered cake, and it is a little bit more difficult. It's what I actually did for the first couple of years in my in the space, and it does work, but I do not necessarily suggest it. That's when you feel like, I love doing everything on content. You love creating beauty, you love traveling, you love showcasing fashion, you love showcasing hair, you love just showing everything, and you're struggling to select a niche. The importance of the one-layered niche is that you are identified as an expert, and it's so important when it's time to monetize in the future. So in the future, you're going to be making a little bit of money from content creation, and you'll be working with all these different agencies which work with these brands and clients, right? And when they are selecting content creators to choose and work with, they want people who are experts in their field. If they're going to partner up now with Fashion Nova, and they're going to come to you who's following the one-layered cake, they're going to be like, okay, cool, this guy is known for fashion, so we can confidently say, if he speaks about Fashion Nova, he can confidently get us a couple of sales. But now if you're following the multi-layered cake and you're doing fashion, at the same time you're doing tech, at the same time you're doing gaming, it's okay, cool, he's good at fashion, but the people that are there, what are they there for? They're there for all these different things. Or 30% is here for this, 30% is here for that, which kind of removes their trust in you to get them sales. So when you're selecting your type of niche, it really does affect the future. So now that you understand the different types of niches you can select and the different strategies within the niches, I'm going to be teaching you guys step by step how to select the niche that works best for you. And this definitely worked for me, enabling me to have all types of video ideas, all types of content, and all types of ways to collaborate with all types of content creators. So the first step is identifying your interests. What you like doing on a day-to-day basis, what you like experiencing, what you like consuming. Because when it's time for content creation, it does get really tiring and the ideas do finish. But if you're following a strategy which is in line with your interests, it becomes a little bit easier because you're exposed to your interests every single day. Step 2 is all about doing research within the market. You need to understand, okay, cool, I like these interests, and these interests obviously pushing me towards this type of content. But now it's time for you to go onto YouTube, go into Instagram, go into TikTok, and find people that are creating that type of content. You want to look out for a number of things. 1, are they coming up with content every single week? 2, are you actually enjoying the content? Is it authentic? Is it engaging? Do you feel like commenting? Do you feel like liking? Do you feel like sharing? And 3, are they actually getting views and working with brands? Yes, your interest could be what leads you, but you also need to be strategic in every single thing that you're doing. If that doesn't make sense to you, it's as simple as typing in South African content creators who do fashion, or fashion content creators. I really encourage people to look at what people are doing in South Africa, because that sets the bar of how brands and agencies are working with people. But my greatest strategy is always looking overseas, in America, in Canada, in the UK, to see what are people doing at the top level, because At the end of the day, we're all trying to get there, and that is the route in which we need to be focused on. Step 3 is all about considering your expertise. You need to be able to be knowledgeable in what you're saying and doing, because as a consumer that's watching someone who's doing fashion content, your fashion needs to look good. Like, I'm not going to be watching you if your content is not amazing. I'm like, okay, cool, this is an expert in that field. So think about your expertise. What are you actually really good at? And try and match your interest and your expertise to see where you have common ground. For example, with me, I pride myself in 2 things. I pride myself in quality, and I pride myself in storytelling. So I am a lifestyle content creator. In the beginning of my journey, I did a lot of vlogs, and people could see this person is a great storyteller. This person is great at shooting different angles. This person is great at bringing us into the content. And that's a skill that I had and I worked on. So don't try to select a niche or an expertise which you're still learning in. That is okay, but you should have a little bit of stamina, a little bit of information, so you can be an industry expert. At the end of the day, yes, your consumer wants to be entertained, they want to laugh, they want to relate to you, but at the same time, it's so important if you can choose a niche where you can teach somebody something, which is why I always say step 1 to step 3 are the most important. Now it's time for step 4. It's time to be realistic, and it's time for us to narrow down our options. Yes, you can say you love expensive hair and you love showcasing beauty, but let's be practical. Can you afford buying those products every single week? Can you afford to shoot at the highest quality? You need to select things which are practical in what you can do, because in the beginning of your career, no matter it being Instagram, TikTok, on YouTube, it needs to be affordable and sustainable so you can consistently create. I, for the longest time, grew in my career, and I decided, okay, cool, I want to try travel content. And it was fun. I traveled to Durban, I traveled to Cape Town, but I was not making money back. If anything, I was losing money. And I didn't do enough research to see, okay, cool, there actually aren't that many content creators in South Africa that are sustainable in travel content, which led me to wasting about 6 months of traveling. Yes, it was tons of fun for my personal life, but as a business person, it was a big financial strain on me. Now it's time for you to be practical and test your ideas. At this stage, you should have written about 2 to 3 or 4 different niches that you really enjoy. Let's take in gaming, let's take in beauty, let's take in technology. Now it's time for you to create actual videos, not for consumption for the world, but for you to see. And I want you to focus on these 4 different things. Number 1, were you comfortable with the lingo in the video? Back in the day, I tried to start creating content, showcasing all these beautiful houses, but I was so uncomfortable because I actually realized that, okay, cool, I love showcasing houses, but I don't know if this is marble, if this is glass, I don't know if this is tempered, I don't know how to describe this wood, and the lingo was just not comfortable for me, which prevented me from shooting my next video, because I was like, you know what, I thought I liked this niche, but I don't, because I can't speak the lingo. Number 2, your interest in the video. One of the most important things when creating to a specific niche is actually having fun. Like, you're gonna be shooting this content pretty much every other day, and if you're seeing yourself lose interest, if you're seeing yourself become demotivated or being bored by what you're saying, maybe that niche just is not for you. Number 3, would you rewatch the content? I think this is one of the most important things ever. When I used to create vlogs, I used to watch my vlogs not once, not twice, not 3 times, but about 4 times, because I really enjoyed the journey I was taking my subscribers in. You need to be able to have a rewatchability within your content so that you know that whatever you're putting out, you truly love. It will take time for you to find people who love what you love, but you need to love what you're doing first. Now, the 4th step is pretty simple. Would you subscribe to a channel that is creating that type of content? At the end of the day, you want people to come and you want to build a community. So if you had to watch the video on YouTube, would you click the subscribe button? Would you click the follow button? That's one thing you need to be thinking about, because if you wouldn't, maybe it's not for you. Now that you've gone through steps 1 and step 4, I want you guys to do all one exercise. Take out a piece of paper, which you should have by now, and try to write down your next 5 video ideas for your selected niche. If you're struggling to write down your next 5 video ideas, that's okay, but it shouldn't be too difficult. One tool that I love using recently is all types of AI. I struggle with my ideas. I like working with people. So I've got a content producer. I use artificial intelligence, and I see as AI or my content producer providing ideas that I would love shooting. But if you can't think of the next 5, I don't know you're gonna do the next 2 years with this niche. Now it's time for the last step, selecting your niche. You've looked at your interests, you looked at your expertise, you've looked at your practicability, being your budget and your time. Now it's time to see from all the niches you've written down, all the interests, all the videos that you've tried, what is that one thing that you're going to try? If you're gonna be following the multi-layered cake strategy, you can select from my personal opinion, only 2. I know a lot of people want to do 3 and 4 and 5, but in the beginning, you should be building a community based off of 1 or 2 niches. And as you go, you can then select another type of niche and add a 3rd one. But I really suggest that in the beginning of your career, you select a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 2 niches for your optimal growth.